peak performance is not something that can be defined by compartmentalized thinking. It's not about how much you can innovate, execute, or accumulate. And it actually has little to do with your ability to stay on track to complete tasks. That's actually called achievement. Performance itself is dynamic, it's complex, just as any individual is. So we cannot simply bound it by the quantifiable. It can't be caged in some form of strategic milestones or limited by society's definitions. Your peak performance is a state of being that's exclusive to you. So when I throw out the word peak performance, it's understanding a state that we're able to attain, not a destination to achieve. And when it comes to peak performance, holistically, you have to look at every area of your life. If it is operating holistically at the same level, that is the term I define in peak performance. If, and the audience is listening, to make a buttload of money and have some fame, but yet your relationships are suffering, your health is suffering, you are not feeling fulfilled or at peace, you're constantly in the grind, that is not peak performance. That just is a state of achievement. We always hear people talking about doing the deep inner work. It's always sold as like you have to do the deep inner work, but yet at the end of the day, when it comes down to doing the true deep work that requires you to be optimized, people are scared of real transformation. They like to control to a certain degree the resources that they hire and bring into their lives that give them some level of feeling like things are changing. There is some level of discomfort in that process or that coaching program or whatever they're looking to invest in, but they're not fully surrendering to the unknown of it. They're not allowing themselves to be the most vulnerable. And therefore, that's where the unresolved stresses reside, the unconscious patterns of doubt, fear, and cautiousness that were created over life's bad experiences that we have basically held on to that we've never addressed. I call them battling your demons. So until you actually have someone that can get into the trenches with you and make you face in real time in the real right environment in a relationship to make you face and battle those demons head on so you can eradicate them, you're always going to still be struggling to find out why your life does not feel the way you actually want it to. Oh, I have made all this money, yet I still feel like my wife doesn't like me or my kids don't respect me. My health is suffering. I still feel that pain every morning when I wake up. So what it means is really looking at every aspect of your life holistically and being able to eradicate unresolved stress that you have not addressed your entire life and realize that you need to first achieve self-mastery and you need to build from that place, not on the back of your stress and your pain. So when you can wake up in the morning and not feel bad anymore and you feel fulfilled and you're in contentment and you're allowing yourself to be able to handle whatever's thrown your way or whatever you put your focus on, you're operating from a full state of optimization. The 5 characteristics that people, leaders, high achievers need to truly evolve into and understand and embrace to really stand on the precipice of high performance sustainably is acceptance, removal, resolution, transformation, and then optimization. And what I mean by that is instead of deflecting things that are highly uncomfortable, that challenge you at every step of the way, that make you feel a little out of whack in the moment, you need to learn how to accept when those types of situations or relationships come to you and the timing in which they're coming to you. And when we move on to removal versus the addition, we are so bent on the idea that the more strategies, the more systems, the more processes we add into our life, the more successful we become. But nobody is focusing on removal, removing what occupies space within your mind, within you energetically and emotionally, so that you actually can have more capacity expansion to be able to then add in certain things that make sense for your growth. Moving on to resolution. Relief is what we chase. We hear it all the time. Is I'm going to have a hard day, it's stressful, it's chaotic, and at the end of the day, I'm going to try to find some relief, whether it be going to yoga, doing meditation, even maybe having a glass of whiskey, whatever your choice is to find that relief doesn't create real resolution. And you need resolution first and foremost if you're going to be able to have the capacity to grow and be fully optimized in your life. And that then leads into real transformation and not just the transference. We go to events, concerts, we go to parties, we get motivated by speakers. What's happening there is they're transferring their motivational spirit into the audience, and people feel high for a short period of time and feel excited about the opportunity that they can take on what they're being taught and go do it for themselves. But then they end up crashing at the end of the day and they want more of that. I'm talking about transformation. Consider a piece of coal turning into a diamond. When you have heat and you have pressure, and that coal is in that chaotic environment, it can change that crumbly substance into one of the most powerful, strongest substances, one of the most coveted substances in the world, a diamond. But if you take away heat, all you do is create change. You just turn it from solid into maybe a crumbled mess of dust. And the last piece is the final aspect of it all, which is optimization, rather than just spending your time on the roller coaster ride of being helped along the way. It's finding the right environments, the right resources that can challenge you in ways you've never been challenged, make you face things you've never been faced, and actually push you through your limitations, no matter what it looks like, what it feels like, or however it shows up, and realizing that by embracing that is where your life can truly transform to the top of your game. So just to reiterate, it's acceptance, removal, resolution, transformation, and then optimization that needs to be embraced as characteristics for leaders, high achievers, anybody on the path to their own success in life, so that they can actually feel what it's like to be at the top of their game. So, it can be very subjective as well. You don't wake up feeling worried, stressed, overwhelmed about anything or everything you must get done for the day. You feel alive, excited, at peace. There's no more of a grind or the sensation like you need to prove or scale uncontrollably. There's this balance to your innovation and desire, not just how big can I make it? You understand that you're no longer compensating with things, that you have no more unresolved, I call them chronic stresses that reside within you. You have faced them and you've eradicated them. You know who you really are at the core without all of that pain, sacrifice, and suffering that you have endured to get to your level of success. So it means your state of being is what my professional athletes that I've worked with call being in the zone, no matter what comes at you or what you put your focus on. There's that level of contentment and fulfillment in your health, your relationships, and your life no longer feels like this constant worry of what's next, what else do I need to get done? So your ability to manage those inner and outer volatility becomes an asset to your performance, and your creativity then further, as a result and a byproduct, is not born from stress or pain or fear. It's born from a place of pure peace and freedom. That's what it means to be at the top of your game and to sustain it. Yielding to the fear of the unknown. We're never going to get rid of fear itself. We can manage the natural energy of fear that we are born with, that is part of our nature of being human beings. It's part of our survival. So if you can yield to the fear of the unknown, especially when it comes to your own growth, your own leadership development, and you can start to allow yourself to become more vulnerable and surrender to things that challenge you in a way you least expect it. Find value, even if you don't pursue it, but find value in those moments, in those relationships. You will find that just by taking that action, yielding to the fear of the unknown, things can start to actually change in your life. And then you will see your decision making becomes more optimal.